2 days ago, it was 78 degrees. Today it snowed. I don't even know what to make of it. Mm. Thing needs to be tuned. Ah, here it is. Hi. Whew. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Yesterday it was. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yesterday it was 75 degrees. Day before that it was 78. I made mention of it on the podcast. Wow, it's 78 degrees. This is like the calm before the storm. It's really great. I wonder how bad it's going to get. And bam. Hold on. And that is how that is done, my brother. What is this? Stop that. All right. So yeah, it's I'm still not really strong with my fingers. I could just use a C add. So, okay, G, C, E, D. Hey, William. Right. Yeah. Oh, that can't be good. All right. Let's cut on some lights up in here. That's a little brighter. It's not great. I was catching some news actually today, and I saw Hillary Clinton showed up and was telling us what's wrong. And I'm noticing she is becoming more and more visible. And someone on the internet made a point that he thinks it's because she thinks Biden may not be around in 2024, and the party doesn't really like Harris or Booty or whatever. She's just the worst. She's the freaking worst. Jury reaches a verdict in Elizabeth Holmes trial. She made $1 billion off of what I would consider, and like, well, I guess it's fair to say, the state considers it dubious. They should have put the stake in. I need context. Hillary Clinton is the worst. Jury reached verdict in Elizabeth Holmes trial. $1 billion. Prince Andrew accused of Virginia Giuffre legal deal with Jeffrey Epstein released. Yeah, her whole life is about this thing. She's making a lot of. I hate to, but you shouldn't be able to make mm, money off. It's yeah, Hillary Clinton is the worst. I don't know. But people make being a victim lucrative, and you lose the thread. I mean, if you were serious about this, ooh, she's convicted of defrauding. How much time? I wonder how much time she could get. Um, I don't know, man. I had in my family, I've got a COVID outbreak. I'm just kind of like, oh, excuse me. So I played guitar all day yesterday, up until about 3 in the morning. I got up and then I started fiddling around with it again. Um, and then I got frustrated because I could not get something down. So I went and caught up on TV, and the world is still falling apart. Uh, and like I said, 2 days ago it was 78 degrees. Yesterday it was 75, and today it snowed. Oh, outrageous, outrageous. This whole environment doesn't make any sense anymore. I do have a steak in there I need to cook, so I need a. They're already. Why? Excuse me. Why am I? Well, I've been up for. Yeah. See, this is another thing. I've had 4 cups of coffee today. Um, and one meal. By the time we get, what time is it? 7:30. I begin to yawn and ugh. Um, I got a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. I have to figure something out. I'm not as I hate to say this, but I am not as young as I used to be, which is well, no one is as young as they used to be. If you really want to be, really, really deep and philosophical about it. Um, but I used to be able to stay up all night and all day. Now I kind of like tuck her out around right around about 10. Um, wow, excuse me. The federal court just released the settlement deal between Epstein and Gouffre. Betty White. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is, I've got teary eyes. So I've been fiddling around with ooh, I've been fiddling around with Perfect by Ed Sheeran, and I'm getting frustrated. Then I'm going about to like leave and do Starry Starry Night. Here's the problem with that. Starry Starry Night will eventually make you all frustrated. Then you'll want to leave that one and go and do something else. Um, okay. Yes. Uh, some of y'all can't see the chat. William in the chat says we were just kids when we fell in love. Yeah, I was singing that yesterday because one thing I did get, good Lord, I've got like an ear twinge. One thing I did get out of um practicing that song all day yesterday and all day the day before, and a good portion of the day. Ugh, ugh. I feel like I've got water in my ear, and a good portion of it today is I got the lyrics down, and it's really lilting, and I was like, oh, the melancholy of it, the chord progression of it is just. They say it's one of the more popular ones, but you get why it's popular. And then his melody over it is just so lilting, and the sentiment of it is so nice. It's so lovely. So I can see a whole bunch of people getting married to it. Um, how many people get married to rap songs? I knew I loved you the day I saw you, bitch. Yeah. Oh man, the love songs. All right. See, I can make those kind of jokes. And here's another thing. I want another cup of coffee. I've had four. I don't need. I had a cup of coffee. What time is it? 7:30. I want to say I had a cup of coffee at like 5:36. I can't. Impossible. It can't. I can't. Can you tell me singer? The singer. Who is it? It's Ed Sheeran. Uh, yeah, Ed Sheeran. Who also has Bad Habits, which is another good song with a good chord progression. My bad habit leads to late nights spending alone, conversations with a stranger I barely know. How you spending late nights alone and then conversating with a stranger, right? I love good lyrics, but when your next line discredits the line you just mentioned is sort of weird. Picks and what does that mean? Picks question mark. The singer is Ed Sheeran. You know, we can pull up his picture so we can all see him. Jamie Foxx has a hysterical Ed Sheeran story. Before Ed Sheeran was famous, he was obviously hanging out in California. Um, Ed Sheeran. Okay, so where's that? Where was the Sheeraminator? Here it is. Ed Sheeran, global superstar, internationally famous, British, because everybody is British now. I don't even know why. Uh, let's look up Ed Sheeran. Edward Christopher Sheeran, MBE. What does that even mean? The most excellent order of the British Empire is a British order of chivalry rewarding contributions to artists in science, work with charitable and welfare organizations, and public service outside the civil service. It was okay. Uh, in Ing Sing Sar, born in Halifax, Yorkshire, he was brought up in Farmington, Suffolk, and began writing songs at the age of 11. In the early 2011, Sharon independently released an extended play number 5 collaboration project. He signed with Silent Records the same year. So that would have made him 20. Good job. Sharon debut album pronounced plus. What did he spell it? Not did he not spell it plus? Oh, okay. It's a plus sign. So he named his debut album a plus symbol. Okay, pronounced plus was released September 2011 and topped the UK album charts. It contains its first hit single, The A Team. In 2012, Sharon won the Brit Awards and ba 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 ba. Okay, released June 24th. It was named da 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 da. Okay, okay. He's been around for 10 years making music. He's got two of my favorite songs out now. That Bad Habits song is fucking great. Um, Career beginning. Sharon began recording music in 2004 and eventually reached his first collection of work titled Spinning Man. He's been friends with fellow English singer Passenger. His name is Passenger. Michael Dave Rosenberg, better known by his stage name Passenger, is an English singer, songwriter, musician. Previously, the main vocalist and songwriter of The Passenger. Rosenberg opted to keep the band's name for his solo work after the band dissolved in 2009. Okay, all right. 2011, 2013 plus international success. All right. I gotta tell you, he's good at music writing. Anyway, how do we end this? How do we stop it? Stop. Uh, I want coffee. No, we're not gonna sit around drinking coffee all day in the rain. I mean, today was a weird day. It's been super windy and super rainy, and then it snowed. Is it still raining outside? No, it's not. So it finally stopped raining. What is the weather tomorrow? I feel like I've been on a vacation, an extended vacation. Coastal flood warning, really, tomorrow, yeah, in bold red. Coastal flood warning remains in effect until midnight tonight. Yeah, no problem. I'm not leaving the house. 45 degrees. Tomorrow, 42. Wednesday, rain. 49, 49, 57, 45. 36. All right. Ooh. All right. We need a plan. We need a plan of attack for this week. Um, wow. All right. All my downtime I spent relaxing and just kind of chilling and eating holiday food and doing nothing. I still have life maintenance work to get through. Got to clean up this room, this table, and start streaming regularly. Well, I'm streaming regularly, but yeah, we got to get together. We got to tighten up this whole deal, cause this deal is not tight. You know, like I like to say, you gotta gather your shit together. Uh, my shit is all over the place. I need to go around and gather up my shit and put it in one place so my shit is together. Oh, pics and what? What did I say? But it depends on what pics were. Like picks are Afro picks, like combs and picks, right? Like brushes. I might say picks and brushes or picks and combs. Um, yeah. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a lottery reference. I don't play the lottery. Man, am I the birthday boy? Nope. I'm born this month, but I'm not going to tell any. Well, I think everybody knows when I'm born. I'm not really going to mention it. I cruise on through it. Good, sweet Jeebus. My first concern is trying to get be musical. My second concern is streaming. My third concern is aging. Yeah, can you be a successful streamer if you're not a hot 20-year-old lady in a bikini? Like and subscribe, by the way, for deep philosophical thoughts like this. Um, yeah, so we're gonna put the pedal to the metal. I guess sometime I said today, but I got like I said, I haven't done. It takes a little while to get back into the groove. And today was just, I mean, it was super windy. There was flooding every place. I was like, I am not leaving the house. And then it snowed, and I was shocked. But I did stay here and work on my C chord and my transition from G to C and from C back to G needs work. And when I say needs work, I mean like a lot of it. My arpeggios are not existent. That needs work. I need to shave my head because I'm out here wearing my Smurf hat. That needs work. Uh, Before I even, where's my phone? Um, I used to be more, have more stuff for you, but I gotta tell you, I got rid of stuff on my phone, and now it gives me less news, and well, it gives me the top five stories like the Live This Home thing, but then it gives me more what celebrities are doing, which pisses me off. And I don't really know how to. Ooh, what is this? 30, excuse me. 31 good for you breakfast for an early morning boost. I don't, but then it shows you a roast turkey, bacon, and eggs, right? And then spaghetti. I mean, I don't even understand. I don't even understand. How is that breakfast? 31 breakfast. China is haunted by its one child policy. It tries to encourage couples to conceive. Yeah, so you got a billion people, but now nobody wants to have kids. So no, who trusts you? Hey, Emmanuel, good to see you. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And now they have an unbalanced society. But every time you try and do something, they tell you that you can't. So why would you, yeah, that China has all sorts of problems. And they're trying to take the eye off of them by getting at us. There's a lot of surgeon jumped off the George Washington Bridge. Did I just come from work? No, not me. Not this lazy day. Um, yeah, yeah. That like not. I mean, everybody. Not everybody commits suicide. That would be ridiculous. But every group of in every station uh will have this sort of kind of thing where you're surprised and you can't believe that it's somebody who normally should have it all locked up. He's a surgeon and people know him. He's a big doctor. Um, and then he jumps out like off the bridge for his own personal reason, or maybe he was going through a bad divorce or cheating on his wife, or the cops were looking for him, right? All these reasons, but and then you find out after he's gone. Oh wow, did you hear that so and so was, you know, see above about wife. Dr. Jen Ashen married Red Sox owner Tom Werner. Remember first husband. Dr. Jen Ashen marrying Red Sox owner Tom Werner remember first husband. Surgeon jumped off the Russian bridge. See above about wife. I'm confused, man. Um, Let's look up Jen Ashton. Who's that? Oh, isn't she a TV presenter? Yeah, they're always in bed with each other. Don't. Yeah, I mean, they're all fucking disgusting and unseemly. So, who's the surgeon who jumped out the window? Jumped off the bridge? They can't cover responsibly. Yeah. Oh, he was her husband and he jumped off the bridge? Is that what happened? Oh, 2017. Oh. Yeah. Well, you know what? I I lived down the street from this couple, and she seemed sort of acerbic and like all go kind of woman. And one day, her dude was kind of like nice. He was sort of like, one day, she went to work, and when she came home, he had moved all his shit out and left a note, like it was a 50s movie. I was like, first I was like, what kind of cowardly piece of shit does that? But then I was like, man, I have known enough women where it's just kind of like it's best to just get the fuck out and cut ties. But I always think about that. I'm like, you had friends in common, right? You had family who knew. I mean, they lived together, right? They were together for a while, and I was just kind of like, oh. That's what I said, right? They were going to get married, and then she went to work, and he one day he just cleared all this shit out and left a note. I was like, that is just, it's better than getting married though. But why didn't you? Man, yeah. I guess the day kept getting closer and closer. You don't know what to do. Yeah, it is what it is. I guess. Yeah. People. Well, there's a philosophy that these people have about people who commit suicide and how they commit suicide. Right. So people who, like, for instance, women commit suicide usually with pills or slitting their wrists, and men generally use guns, right? Uh, and I think women usually jump from. I think women are women. I think women are usually jumpers. Men aren't jumpers, but that kind of thing. Uh, and then there's also the idea of a call for help, where people won't use a gun for a call for help. That's beyond a call for help. But they'll just kind of like, oh, I nick and I was gonna kill myself, and then you look and it's a nasty cut, but it's not. But then sometimes they really get themselves. Other times they seem like they're working up to it. So there's all this philosophies about it, and some people just old fashioned melancholy, which is essentially losing the will to live. Right? We are a complex animal. And I used to think maybe like Tiger Woods and Michael Jackson, right? And all these child stars, all your life you're taught to run at this thing. Be a good student. One day you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or engineer. Oh, look, my son's a surgeon. And then one day, after you get there, there's nothing else. Oh, I'm a surgeon. I want to be the best surgeon. I've got the head job. And then you get there, and then now you're just like, I'm not. What am I exactly? Right? I didn't even want to be a surgeon. My mother it started out going way back to first grade and being getting good grades. And what I really wanted to do was be a pilot, bartender, gay, right? Who knows, right? Maybe he got married, he was secretly gay. All these because Some of the most fucked up people I know are the people who get good grades and do exactly what they're told, right? And then somewhere in their 30s and 40s, they're angry at the world because they're unhappy. Some of the happy people I know are broke as fuck, right? They want more money, that's true, but they generally like their family than their spouses and their friends. They generally don't like their bullshit gig, their job, right? But generally, they're happy people. So I don't know, man. Jumping off of bridges is serious shit. There was a documentary about the Golden Gate Bridge, and people would jump off of that, and a good percentage of them would just get carried by the current out to sea, and that was it. No one ever saw them again. Some would wash up on that. There's a current sort of like that in New York, but man, under the bridge, normally that fall just kills you. That's 300 feet. That is not an easy fall to take. So people who survive falling off these giant bridges are super ultra lucky. Hitting the water from that height is like hitting cement. So I don't even know how you hit. Maybe the water broke funny when you hit it. It was already like waves were crashing, so it was weak or whatever. But if it's just calm, flat water, it's like belly flopping. You ever take a belly flop? That's off like a diving board, and that stings. So yeah, it hits, you go kaflunk, and then you sink in and you drown. Um, Usually washed away back to what is it? Ashes to ashes. Don't need a gravestone or marker. You're back in with the cosmos. Uh, Old people used to do this in the olden times, right? They feel that they were too old to contribute, or they were maybe just senile, and they would wander off into the woods and maybe get die of exposure or get eaten by a bear or have a heart attack out there, or maybe they're out there for 2 days and come back and go, I'm fine. I guess so. It was just a uh, what is it? A false alarm. And then he comes back and lives with the tribe for another 4 or 5 years until they find him in his bunk. So these are the things that happen, I guess, um, in the darker side of what we don't talk about, which is you know suicide. But kind of frankly, I got my own problems. Don't look, and there's a lot of people say don't do suicide. I'm for that, but I'm also the kind of guy who goes, first of all, shame on you. Your mom shouldn't be finding you hanging in the closet. But also, you ask people to go and die for other shit. I mean, who am I to tell you not to hang? I wish you wouldn't. I wish you would find comfort and solace and a reason to go on. But trying to be not full of shit, I would tell you. I would first of all try and talk you out of it. But I wouldn't be pompous about it and tell you how it's a sin against anything. And because all around you, people are asking you to give up your life, your time, your days, so other people can be comfortable, right? Um, so yeah, suicide is one of those weird ass things. Jumped off a bridge. Ugh. Yeah, don't make. Yeah, I don't know. And that also, I'm like, that's also weird too, because then you're like, you leave people behind, like children. Like, I mean, that is really melancholy. You are so just kind of like, I think it's become getting obsessed with an idea of it too, right? And then it's gonna happen because you think about it all the time. You will it into life. I believe that too. Like, yeah, I think you can will some things into life. If you're just a miserable fuck and you want to beat up and you don't care about going to jail, you will end up in jail eventually because you're a miserable fuck who don't care about like the rules and you're gonna fight and do it right, and then it's gonna be a self fulfilling prophecy. But if your self fulfilling prophecy is, man, I'm getting out of this neighborhood. I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna start my own business and da da da. You can will that shit into existence too, right? Yeah, jumping off of bridges that takes some guts is right. Yeah, let's change the subject. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, this subject is rather gloomy. Let's talk the new possibilities. It is cold in this. Should I cut on the heat? Good lord. Um, I don't want to get a hoodie. What's the weather outside?
It's currently clear and 32 degrees. Temperatures
32
will be fairly
degrees.
consistent.
32 degrees. All right. Yeah, like I said, it was 75 degrees yesterday. This don't make any sense. All right, so now I got to turn the heat up because 70 first I normally keep it at like 75. And when it was 77, I had to cut it off because it was warm and I could open the windows. Now, I have to turn it back on and turn it up to like 77 or something just to not get a cold in this apartment in a day. In a day. Wow, yeah. I don't know what the government thinks they're going to do about these environmental shifts. What? They're going to bust water in? There's no way you could move as much water as Mother Nature moves water through a landscape of any kind, right? There's no way for all the people who need it. Uh, because if you did, you could take all the flooded water from Louisiana and transport it to California, right? You wipe out their flood problem as you wipe out California's fire problem. Um, is that a timer behind me? Yes, I time the shows at generally an hour and 15 minutes. Uh, Generally, unless I'm gaming, then they're about 3 or 4 hours. Or unless I'm cooking, then they're about 40 minutes. Um, so yeah, I have a thing about timers and timing things and watching clocks and all this. Yeah, gaming, man. Gaming. Of all sorts, I love gaming. I love playing games, video games, in front of my TV. I love playing games out on a field, gridiron, baseball field, in the grass. Light competition among friends using hourglass. I was looking for hourglasses. Those fucking things are expensive, and I wanted the movie con that are like this big of, like, and there'll be an hour, like $700. I was like, I wonder how much it will cost me. This was one of my old projects. I actually might do this to make an hourglass. I think I can actually make an hourglass. Um, it's fairly simple. Two similar bottles. You can buy either colored sand or get it from the beach. Bake it to kill all the germs and stuff. Sift it to make sure there's nothing in it. Put it in whatever you're doing. Seal it, wax in, like what's that stuff that you see every Saturday morning? That closes stuff. That's flex safe, flex seal. Uh, Paint it, put it in a box. But you got to time out whatever you seal the hole in. You got to time that hole with however much sand you have in there, and make sure you have a decent timer as to what it is. So I've actually researched this. I use smoking a cigar to gauge my time. That's pretty good. If it's always like I only smoke a cigar for like 10 minutes and then I do it like clockwork. If you're one of those, like, yeah, perfect. But I'm off of tobacco. Uh, yeah, gaming, all that good stuff. Uh, it is cold in here. All right, guys, give me a second. Put the heat on. This is ridiculous. I wish I had some snacking. All right, so I had to turn the heat. It's on, but it had to be turned up. So I wonder how much time Elizabeth Theranos is looking at. Because mind you, $1 billion. And this was 10 years ago. Like maybe 8 years ago. I was like, she's still out? Okay, maybe 6 years ago. It was more than 5 years ago. Elizabeth, another one who was in bed with her boss and is just making a mockery of the women's right movement. Okay, I want to multiple count by count. Here's what jury decided on her. Here's what we know about the case. Who were the jurors? I don't care who the jurors were. What Elizabeth said in her own defense. All right, I just want to know how much time is she looking at? Court by count by count. Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of the blood testing startup Theranos, faces 11 counts. 11 counts of fraud for lying to investors, patients, and others to raise money, and the profile of her company. An additional charge of wire fraud against a patient was dropped during the trial. There was a charge of wire fraud against a patient. Here's what the jurors decided. Count one of conspiracy to commit wire fraud against investors in the Theranos between 2010 and 2015, guilty. Here's the way this works. I'm online, right? I go, hey, you send me money, whether you send it by US mail or some internet app option like WhatsApp or whatever, and I will send you this magic tissue that will cure your cancer, right? When the cops get me for fraud, because this ain't gonna cure shit, they also hit you with how you got the money. Oh, you used the postal service for this con? It's abuse of the postal system. Oh, you used, internet so and so, then it's abuse of it's wire fraud against patients, right? Theranos blood testing, sorry, count three of wire fraud in connection with the wire transfer of $99,990 on or about December 30th, 2013. No verdict, no verdict, no verdict. Count of wire fraud. See, so she's moving money around. Count of wire fraud. Okay, hold on. Let's take all of these one by one and not interrupt. Count one of conspiracy to commit wire fraud against investors between 2010 and 2015. Guilty. One count between 5 years. That's a lot of time not to fuck up. All right. Guilty. Count two of conspiring to commit wire fraud against patients who pay for Theranos' blood tests between 2013 and 2016. Right. Not guilty. Okay. Count three of wire fraud connection with wire transfer of $99,909 on about December 30th, 2010. No verdict. Count for wire fraud in connection with the wire transfer of $5,349,900 on or about December 31st, 2013. So 99,000 the first day, and then the very next day, 5,300,350,000. All right. So that puts that at 6 million. I'm sorry, that puts that at four $5,450,000 in 2 days. Count five of wire fraud connection wire transfer of $4,875,000 on December 31st. No verdict. All right. So in in a period of 24 hours, she took $10,200,000 in wire transfers, and they found her not guilty of it. So I guess she gets to keep it. Count six of wire fraud in connection with a wire transfer. February 6, 2014, $38 million. See, that's what you got. Found guilty of that one, $38 million. See, the $10 million you took in 2 days, if you would have left it at that, I don't think they probably ever would have came calling. Count seven, wire fraud in connection with wire transfer of $99,999,984 on or about October 31st, 2014. $100 million on Halloween. Whew. I may take a finance loan. You know what? I'm gonna put the drums on hold. I'm gonna take a fucking finance, cause a wire transfer of $100 million. My God. On October 31st, 2014, guilty. Count 8 of wire fraud in connection with wire transfer of 5,999,997 right, $3 short of the 6 mil on October 31st, 2014. This sounds like the bottom was dropping out and she was trying to cash out big. Count 9 was dropped. Count 10 of the wire fraud in connection with patients' laboratory test results on May 11, 2015, not guilty. Count 11 wire fraud in connection with patients' laboratory tests, May 16th, not guilty. Count 12 of wire fraud in connection with wire transfer of 100, I'm sorry, of $1,126,661, not guilty. All right. So what is she guilty of? 11 counts. She's guilty of count one, conspiring to commit wire fraud against investors in the Theranos between 2015 and 2010. One guilty. Uh, Not guilty. No verdict. No verdict. No verdict. Guilty. Six counts of wire. I'm sorry. Count six of wire fraud. The 38,336,632 on the February 6th. Uh, 6 months later. Uh, Count seven of wire fraud in connection with trying to transfer $99,999,984 on Halloween, right? And then an additional guilty for trying to cop another 6 million on the same Halloween. So not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Four not guilties, three guilties, two no verdicts. Guilty, guilty. Yeah, so four guilties, four not guilties, and three no verdicts. You better hope they don't retry you on those no verdicts. But the not guilties, she got to keep $10 million on the not guilties. She got in trouble with the rest of it. I wonder how much time she's looking at. Where is it? I glanced. She was trying to get her case captured public, blah, 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 blah. Boundary line at one another. One of the Miss Holmes was lauded as one of the youngest self-made female billionaires. It was all a con. It was a giant fucking con. Trial since the third, she continued doing her testimony in court. Um, when did Holmes' trial? But it all came crashing down after a 2015 investigation from Wall Street Journal found that Theranos blood testing technology did not work. Theranos shut down in 2018. So she knew the expose was coming. It came out in 2015, and she was found guilty, not guilty, wow, not guilty of 2015, but guilty of 2014. Right, just before, while the company was in free fall, she tried to get away with $150 million, $99,999, $5,999,097, and $38,336,000. Right, that's what got her into trouble. That period of February 2014 to that 6 months before her company shut down. Yeah, it was a giant scam. Uh, I wonder how much time she. It's four counts. They're not. I mean, it's not you can sit on your head. Where jurors? I don't care who the jurors were. Right, and then as soon as she got indicted, the first thing that happened was she married this guy and got pregnant, right? And then she was going to court with a baby bump and looking like a new mom and all this. I I've seen this 1,000 times if I've seen it once, right? All these young women, as soon as they're looking at a lot of time, they show up in court pregnant, and people go, "Oh, sympathy, Your Honor, never been in." She's a new Your Honor. Um, uh, Not saying that was it's a tactic. I'm not saying that, but it seems to be a tactic. Um, Took to defend herself nearly 3 months into the trial. The found out her fine she applied during it failed. She had committed fraud. just because it felt them. Miss Holmes testimony with them on the first time she had told the story about Theranos' rise and fall. The Silicon Valley company raised $945 million from investors by touting supposedly revolutionary blood testing technology, but collapsed after claims were shown to be false, and she tried to step off with some of that money. Ms. Holmes, 37, was charged with 11 counts of wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud. She was found guilty on 4 charges. Under direct examination, Ms. Holmes blamed others. Of course she did. She especially pointed fingers at Mr. Balwani, the other guy who's also on trial for this. Ms. Holmes said he had controlled her schedule and her diet and kept her from her family and forced her to have sex. Oh my God! I don't have any brains of my own. I'm a college graduate. So this whole thing was someone else's fault. But you were happy to be on the cover when they were like, "Ooh, youngest female billionaire," right? That is a really good question. Here's what we know about Sunny Balwani, Theranos, and her former boyfriend. Yeah, she looked like we used to call them. Can I say this? Just fun girls, girls who were. I guess rock bands called them groupies. But she sounded like she was around the powerful men for whatever, and he got caught up with her. Commercial bill, blah 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 blah. The collapse came, but the recession, blah blah blah. Here's some prosecution key piece of evidence: a fraudulent report. That's gonna get you. Investors' letters and shareholders' calls, internal emails, what prosecutors argued in the case. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. This is a good. See, this is how you write a fucking article. This is a good. This must be 10,000 words. White collar criminal cases are very rare in Silicon Valley. Yeah, because they fund everything and nobody wants to rock the boat. But trust me, there's a lot of white collar crime in Silicon Valley just because there's a lot of freaking money there. The crime is where the money is. Um, the most famous criminal cases came out. California boy 57 white collar cases in fiscal 2020. A frequent explanation is that the fault of lackluster U.S. attorney offices in San Francisco. A few prosecutors come to the Bay Area to make their reputation, and those that do, like Robert Mueller 20 years ago, soon move on to better jobs. Mr. Mueller took over the FBI. No, they grease the wheels and get their way. They open schools. They donate to people running for office. So they end up knowing the governor and the senators who want money from them because they all have $1 billion. And then before you know it, when you do some wild shit, you got friends to fix it. What she was accused of, fraud. Okay, come on, guys, give me the. Really, that's a lot. Um, she pled not guilty. Since the criminal indictment case, Mr. Storm, Ms. Holm have been separated. Ms. Balmami faces trial next year. Further, some of the charges against Ms. Holm have been dropped and others added. Wire fraud is a felony that carries a maximum penalty of 20 years and potential fines. Theranos also paid $500,000 fines to settle civil securities fraud charges with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Think about that. She had to pay $500 million of a fine for money she normally wouldn't have had if it wasn't for fraud. You get to keep the money. That's the shit. I remember Michael Milken when I was a kid. I learned this a long time ago. He stole like $5 billion on Wall Street. He went to jail for like 8 years. They never found the money. And then he was out 8 years later, disgraced. But then they picked him up in a limo and they drove him to his mansion. And I was like, what? So, yeah, she paid a $500,000 fine to settle civil securities fraud. Commission, it also settled multiple lawsuits. That $500,000 also settled multiple lawsuits with investors and partners before dissolving that year. Since the criminal indictment, it doesn't tell me, well, 20 years, and she's got convicted of 4. So she's looking at 60 years. They will likely give her 8. And then she will be out, not even 8, she'll probably get 4. She'll be out talking shit like Martha Stewart, right? But she took the money out, right? I mean, but yeah, maybe the government will bankrupt her. But I want to remind you, O.J. Simpson is still rich and chilling, right? And he's got something against him, um, but it's protected the way they write the laws, right? If I steal it all and get rich, I don't want you to throw me in jail and take it. And if I do get thrown in jail, I don't want you to take it, right? So, I mean, they write the laws for themselves, not for us. Um, Sounds like how much time does she get? Yeah, I think she gets about uh, anywhere from 3 to 10 years. I don't think much more than that. No, they're not going to throw the book at her. Sounds like Weinstein with the Walker in court. Yeah, exactly. Uh, True going for Oscar. I thought the IRS catches scammers. No, the IRS targets us poor people because there's more of us and you get more money from the masses than the 1% of rich people who don't pay and won't pay and have accountants to play these games and all this stuff. If you really want these people to pay, the first people you would attack is their accountants. You help them break the law, right? You would repeal some of this stuff, but then people look. Nancy Pelosi is engaging in insider trading, which will get you and me 20 years. Um, it's, I mean, it's corruption. It is. Uh, she was only served 5 years. Yeah, she was raising money for cancer. Yeah, you want to keep a good positive profile while you rob people of $1 billion. Look, even the mobsters in the 20s and 30s gave candy to the kids and nickels, right? Even the robber barons who didn't want you to have a union and want you to work 20 hours a day for like $3, 20 hours a day, 6 days a week for like $1 a month, while you lived uh, and shopped at the company store and ended up owing them $1.20 a month, right? This is this is this is where you are. There's a lot of pensions that can't be taken. Yeah, um, because everybody writes under the pension law. Okay, well, can you do that? The next time around, we want to do that. Yeah, and I agree with some of them. But what am I? I'm not an accountant. I'm not a business guy. And I'm not a lawyer. But some of them sound sketchy to me. And some, yeah, I don't think you should be able to take. Uh, but yeah, O.J. Simpson, that is I'm like, yeah. And I'm looking at it like poor guy, like not like millionaires. You shouldn't take your millionaire pension. Most people don't aren't millionaires. They don't have a million pension. So when I think pension, I think bus drivers and firemen, and I think mail carriers. So that's when I think pension. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not so much thinking of like Tom Brady, who's going to get a pension from the NFL's Team Players Association, but he's also made like $100 million. Michael Milken testicular cancer SPI. I think he did die of cancer. Yeah, good for them, right? Because the government won't do it, and they have so much. They get so you cannot. They cannot possibly. I mean, to keep himself busy, Pablo Escobar had to import hippos. So you might as well make some fucking churches, right? And when the cops come up going, we're looking for him, at least the people will be like, Jose or Pedro, whoever, was good to us for the last 10 years. I don't know what you're talking about, right? If you do that, then you don't need violence. You really don't. You really don't. Because you have the love of the people. But everybody wants to be more and more ridiculous and more rapey and more violent and showy and more in your face like the world is a rap video. Oh, what you saw, you ain't seen nothing like that. What's the Patriots player who killed that guy, bold as brash as fuck, like nobody was gonna say anything. And it's just kind of people really buy into it, I really do think some people become the thing they want to be. I want to be the baddest, toughest, balling ass. I'm gonna be the a football is straight murder. So, yeah, Hernandez. It's not straight murder. It's a game. You see people acting ridiculous on the field. I'm like, don't you realize you're part of a brotherhood? A lot of people love to do that, Antonio fucking what's it, Antonio Brown this week just kind of imploded his career all over again. And I'm like, maybe he's got a not an STD. What is that thing? A CT, a CRT. What is that brain thing from football? The TB. What is that thing when you get concussions from football? No, PTSD is post traumatic stress. You can get that from car accident. I had that for like 10 years. I think it's gone now. No, it's when you have when you're a football player and you keep hitting your head and you get a lot of concussions. CTP, CTR, it's C something. CRT, TI, toy TOI, TI. What is well are you all right in the chat, William? It's CRT? No, that's critical race theory. That's not it. CTR? CIT? CIT? Ah, football brain injury. Let's go with that. CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Come on, William, man. I was looking, man. You I can't even right now with you, William. Yeah. So chronic traumatic encephalitis. He may have that. Also, maybe he was just always this way, and the NFL covered it up. The college leagues covered up until he could get to this point. I mean, they're all college graduate. I'm sure they all went to class and learned and stuff, right? The whole environment of what America is, it just strikes me more and more every day as just arrogant fraud. You know what I mean? And I mean arrogant fraud. Like in the old days, the cop taking money in the envelope, it was done. It was like hush hush behind it. Like it's still illegal, but they're trying to cover up. Now I feel like they just walk in, with everybody, all the diners looking, reach his hand over the counter bar, and someone hands the cash full of illegal money in his, and then he just sticks it bold in his coat and just walks out and doesn't care who sees the corruption. Like it's a third world country kind of corruption. And that's what I feel America has become. This I know everybody. I know the judges. No one's gonna. I know all the cops, so I won't be arrested. Oh look, this guy's gonna and look like everything from like the college admission scandals. You're trying to bust your ass to get into these schools, and they can take money and lock you out and put somebody here who then don't even go to class. So this is all of a sudden. This is America on a slow glide into the trees, right? And I've told somebody on my like I always tell people the thing about global warming is uh, there are more particles in the air, which keeps uh, like the warmth there because like it's but the side of that is you have these really beautiful sunsets, right? Just because more tiny particles are reflecting these sunrise and sunsets, and you sit out there and you go, wow, it's beautiful. But it's 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 the harbinger of death. You know what it's like? It's like seeing it's like seeing Jesus. It's like seeing like they told us as kids. It's like seeing Jesus coming back on his white horse. I was like, why is Jesus on white? Anyway, Jesus coming back out of the clouds with his army. I'm sure it would be a magnificent sight, but it's a harbinger of a bad time, bitches. You see what I'm saying? It's the idea of going, ooh, we should fix this before it gets worse. And they're not doing that. They're just getting rich. So I think somewhere along the way, someone's gonna have to fix it. Okay, we've been streaming for about an hour. Holy moly! All right, so that makes sense. There's not a game tonight, is there? Da, da, da. Let's move you over here. La 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 la. Um, I really do have to buy like a sports package. This is outrageous. All right, I'm not going to be able to find out. Uh, I'm not gonna be able to find out. NFL is on the internet, stupid. NFL. Yeah, so look, oh, there is a game tonight. The Browns and the Steelers. It's on ABC. Huh. Why are these? It's, sometimes these. It's more complicated than it needs to be. Can I watch it or fucking not? Is it on ABC? Who's their television set? In the chat. Is the game on this week? Wow. Though that Washington game was a doozy, boy. But they are 13-3. Cleveland Browns 7-8. The Pittsburgh Steelers 7-7 and 1 tie. This might be it for Roethlisberger. That's yesterday's finales. All right. I think we're gonna end this because I kind of sort of want to watch a football game. Oh, I don't think it's gonna be on though. It doesn't matter. All right. So we are gonna abruptly end this stream. And we're gonna try and get our act together probably by next Monday, and we'll be talking shit and streaming here and on Twitch. Well, here and on Twitch, here and officially from the Twitch platform versus this cool streamer that we're using. So like and subscribe here and there and everywhere. Here we are. It's super important that you like and subscribe because if you don't, midgets will come and beat up my cat. That's alright. I don't have a cat. So midgets aren't gonna. Midget. I think midgets is a bad word. I think that might be one of the, and not anachronism, archaic words I grew up with that you now can't use that I still use. Is it little people? At one point, it was. It might be something else. I don't think you can use dwarves either. Uh, is midget a? What's the word I'm looking for? Pejorative. There you go. Is midget a pejorative? The M word. I hate that. All right. The word midget was never coined as the official term to identify people with dwarfism, but was created as a label used to refer to people of short stature. Midget, from midge, a tiny biting insect, is a term for persons of unusually short stature that is considered by some to be pejorative. While not a medical term, it has been applied to persons of unusually short stature, often with dwarfism. I do a dwarf thing. Okay, medical condition which, with a number of cases including achondroplasia. What is achondroplasia? What? Yeah, we're looking that up. Achondroplasia is a genetic disorder whose primary feature is dwarfism. If I look up dwarfism and it says dwarfism is achondroplasia, I swear to God, I'm gonna go wherever this Wikipedia headquarters is, and I'm smacking the CEO. In these conditions, the arms and legs are short, and the torso is typically of normal length. Those affected Those affected have an average adult height of 1.31 centimeters or 4.4 feet for males and 123 centimeters or 4 feet for females. Other features including enlarged head and prominent forehead. Complications can include sleep apnea and recurrent ear infections. The disorder does not generally affect intelligence. Achondroplasia is caused by mutation in the fibroblast growth factors receptor 3. Remember that, people. There's going to be a quiz on this shit. Fibroblast growth factor receptor 3, FGRFR3, gene that results in proteins being overactive. If they're overactive, why is they short? This disorder was an autosomal dominant mode of inheritance, meaning only one mutated copy of the gene is required for the condition to occur. Oh, okay. So with sickle cell anemia, which runs in black family, if the father has it and the mother have a strain of it, the kid will have a strain of it, right? The kid has a high possibility of having a strain of it. But if he doesn't have it, then he's a carrier, right? If the mother have it and the father doesn't have it, the kid may have the strain, but he doesn't have sickle, right? So the kid can't have. So you need two carriers to make like somebody who has this. This says one parent having it in their line can create these children. Uh, all right. Why am I reading all of this? Children, adults, diagnosis. Da, 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 da. Have altered less muscle tone because of this condition having delayed walking motor skills. That the adults considering face with pregnancy and women is considered higher risk. Women generally have their babies delivered through a C-section. Complicated. All right. Okay. Thank you. Achondroplasia. The term may refer to anything of much smaller than normal size as a synonym for miniature or mini. I thought mini meant miniature, and miniature meant small. As a synonym for miniature or mini, is it miniature and mini synonyms for? All right, you know what? I'm not even gonna. Such as midget cells, midget crab apples, midget flower peckers, midget submarines, MGs, midget, Diatsu midget, and the midget Mustang airplane. Or to anything that regularly uses anything that is smaller than a normal brackets other than a person in brackets, uh, using anything that is smaller than normal brackets other than a person in brackets, such as midget car racing and quarter midget racing. Midgets may refer to a smaller version of play or participation, such as midget golf. Midget golf, also known as mini golf, mini putt, goofy golf, crates golf, or putt putt golf. Midget golf is miniature golf. Again, going back to the word miniature or mini, these people are fucking killing me. Um, Such as midget golf or anything designed for the young, i.e., small participants. Again, mini. Uh, in many cases, this is why midget is not a pejorative, but I think it is a pejorative. But I think it's a pejorative if you use it about these people. Like I told this story 1,000 times. I'll tell it one more time. I once got into an argument about the word chink, Chink. Now my last name is Armor, right? And uh, someone said it as a play on my last name. We were in college. This was 30 years ago. Someone said it as a play on my last name, and this Asian woman got really mad at it and said it was pejorative and it was racial. And I was like, no, it's not. It's a word. And she was like, no, it's not. How? And I was like, look. She was like, how if I use the N word to describe? I was like, look, the N word only means the N word, right? Chink means a crack in something, means a weak spot in something. This is a guy from a guy last name Armor, right? It had a meaning long before the Europeans ran into um, the Chinese or the Koreans or the Japanese or the anybody else of Asian descent. And I remember that conversation forever because I think that was my first interaction with people trying to control my language. I was like, look, if someone called you that, then yeah, that's a pejorative. What the fuck? But you can use it in your story or to describe dented armor still. It's not a pejorative in that sense. And this strikes me as that. It's not a pejorative in this sense. If you're talking about like they were saying cars or midget airplanes or midget golf, never heard that, miniature golf. But you do hear it not being good when you talk about people. All right, so yeah, I think It's pejorative. All right, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, boys and girls, thank you for coming through. I want to thank you again for coming through on the heels of me just thanking you for coming through. I'm completely grateful for the time you spent with me. We no more chink in the armor. True. Nope. Nope. I'm an open book. You can see all the scuffs and scars on my whole deal. Um. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? I'm thinking about is my armor. My armor is dented. It's scuffed. It's bruised. It might be cracked in some places. There might be holes in some places. So yeah, there's definitely chinks in it. Um. So please like and subscribe. Let's hold this up again, because I went to Fiverr and paid a lot of money for this. Um, I was actually thinking about Fiverr and getting like a logo and all this stuff. This is going to be a very interesting year. Interesting year for this podcast. Knock on wood, unless something horrible happens. Um, like I said, my whole family has COVID now. It's ridiculous. Uh, I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I took Monday and yes, no, I didn't take yesterday off. I took the first off. So far we're doing pretty all right. I will see you tomorrow at 7. Please like and subscribe. Get ready to like and subscribe. And like and subscribe. Good job. Wow, that was weird timing. All right. All right. Oh, yeah, let's cut this off. I'm going to go and get mini football. Isn't that what they call Pee Wee League? Right? Giving those kids concussions. Oh, my. No, no, no. Pee Wee is Little League. No, Little League is Little League. What is Pee Wee? Because the other one is Pop Warner football. I mean, we don't want to. I mean, they're all uh, legal and distinct entities, and we don't want to get into any trouble by saying someone's Little League is someone's mini league is someone's Pop Warner. Monday Night Football it's on. It should be on. It's on ESPN. That's the problem. God dang it! They took these things off TV, and then they expect us all to be part of the same tapestry. Man, the first group of people we have to deal with is the rich because they are completely out of control and they're stupid with their money and they're causing people problems. So these are all the markings of what the hell are y'all doing? And they're all fully on display. All right, so I gotta fix this machine, uh, but I'm gonna go try and see if I can find a football game. And I hope you have a good night. Monday, the Hit Squad. Um, sort of craving a bagel. One of that we can possibly pull that off. Do I even want to leave the house? Ugh, go get a bagel. What time is it? I can probably still go get a bagel. All right, we're not going to get a bagel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, matches and lighters, landlines and cell phones. I, your homie, True S Armor, will see you in the next one. The next one is tomorrow at 7. I might be a little bit, but it'll be at 7. It won't be. We're not gonna knock that off. That 7:30, 7:20, quarter to 8 bullshit. We're back on our grind. 7:30. Come get some tomorrow. We're gonna be making it interesting next week when we begin gaming on Twitch. I hope you guys will come through, like and subscribe for that. Uh, I really have to. This whole thing's gonna be really interesting. Trust me. All right, so please, um, have hope because the year just started. You can't give up just yet. You got to carry hope till at least April, when someone hits you in the face with a pie on the first, and then you can be like, "Fuck this year, fuck these people," but not until the 1st of April. It's 90 days. All right, picks and combs. Uh, sticks and stones. All right, so we are out, and that is it for us. Everyone, please have a good night. You, William, you, Emmanuel. I hope I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody who's lurking in the chat, just listening. Like and subscribe. It's a good conversation. You should come on through. All right, that is it for us.